Hi there, Ryan Rastill here for Golfshake.com, and as you can see, we are not in the Performance Centre at Howley Hall today. We've actually made the trip to the Belfry here in Sutton Coldfield, where we are in the VIP fitting room with Callaway Golf. We've got Gaz Beadle coming down today, who's going to be fitted for the new Apex line of irons, and also we're going to look at some of the other clubs in his bag as well. We've got Matt Judd, who's one of the custom fitters from Callaway's HQ down in Chessington. He's coming to do the fitting with us, so we're going to have a bit of a chat with Matt. We're going to talk through all the different aspects of Gaz's game and what he wants to look for in a set of golf clubs, and sort of explain to you exactly what we look for in a fitting for players of lots of different abilities, not just Gaz. But really we're focusing on Apex irons, so we're going to talk about how we can combo the sets of different irons, as well as look at all the different models individually too. So hope you enjoy the video, and let's get cracking.
One, two, three, four.
So Gaz, welcome to the Belfry.
Yep.
I know you've been here and played golf before. Have you ever been fitted here before?
No.
No.
Probably the most, sorry Ryan, but the best fitting suite I've ever seen.
No worries, take no offence. Yeah, it's a really cool room, isn't it? So we're going to meet Matt in a second, have a bit of a look through your whole bag, but really focusing on Apex iron, aren't we? So talk to us about your iron game. What's it like at the moment?
To be fair, it's getting better, but I think at the minute I have got quite strong lofted clubs, so it'd be nice to work with the new Callaway irons to try and find that happy medium. I don't want to be that person who whips out a 7 iron to hit 180 yards. I want to be controlling the ball a bit more now.
Yeah.
Now my game's got that little bit better. I'd rather have a bit more spin and a bit more control.
A bit more precision,
yeah,
hit a bit
so
more green. So
interesting.
yeah, cool. So hopefully we're going to meet Matt in a sec, but I'm pretty confident, having met him before, that he's going to get you sorted out, and we're going to, and then we're going to look at other aspects in your bag as well. So let's go get cracking and get you warmed up, shall we?
Go.
So Matt, we're about to fit Gaz for a new set of clubs, but particularly Apex is what we're looking at irons-wise, yeah? So you've had a look at him hit a few shots so far, but we're going to get more in-depth into the fitting in a minute. What is it you're looking for really to fit a set of irons for somebody? What are the first things you kind of go through?
Well, obviously, we see what the current irons are doing, and then we can see whether it's a benefit of the player. Are they hitting it too high? Are they hitting it too low? And then we can start to take into consideration what our irons are going to do to help with that. You know, with Gaz, are we looking for more control? Are we looking for more distance? I think for us, we're going down that control aspect of it.
Yeah.
We want to sort of flight the ball a little bit better. So we'll look at the Apex irons. We'll see which one does the job that we want it to do.
Cool. And one of the things we've spoken about kind of off camera was how good the Apex are at comboing sets if we need to do that as well. So we've got that potential of looking into maybe a couple of different sets of the Apex irons to try and get them to fly how we want them to and get that control that we're looking for. So it's going to be pretty good to see all that in action, isn't it?
Yeah, I think because with the combo sets we've got available, there's so much play. We'll have a great time trying some different options to get the right bag for Gaz.
So now we've got to talking about different shafts, right? So this is something that some people don't think shafts make any difference in golf clubs, which, you know, I still can't fathom. But what was the shaft that you tried to start with?
So we went with a 125 gram X-Flex shaft.
Yep.
So 5-6 grams lighter than was in the current set.
Yep.
I think the current set was a stiff heavy but stiff.
Yeah.
So this is slightly lighter, or was slightly lighter, an X-Flex. And now this one is 115 grams, an X-Flex.
Okay.
So it's got a lighter layer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it feels a bit.
So there's a method in that.
Yeah,
You know, if we went lighter, can we get more distance, if that was what we were aiming for, but without sacrificing your accuracy?
Right.
Obviously, with a set of irons, you're aiming for a smaller target. And that obviously showed us there that with a lighter shaft, we can get a really centered strike. So we know your ball speed will be strong. And from what I'm seeing on the TrackMan in terms of dispersion, it's the tightest dispersion that you're generating.
And we know, obviously, distance is something that we need to look at, but Gaz doesn't really struggle in terms of how far he hits it. It's all about that precision and the dispersion element. And we've just spoken a little bit about, obviously, he plays most of his golf at Howley Hall, which is quite tight, and the greens are pretty small. There is definitely a premium on accuracy, as there is at any golf course you play, but certain ones kind of demand it a little bit more. And certainly from using that shaft, you've both seen that we haven't really sacrificed much in distance, but we've gained a hell of a lot in accuracy, haven't we? So that's one of the reasons why you look at different shafts, isn't it? So those people out there that don't think different flexes and weights of shafts do anything, yeah, there you go. The proof is there that it does, doesn't it? So yeah, do you think you're pretty close to what you're going to end up with there?
Yeah, I'd say that we're in the right sort of ballpark. I think the weight characteristic is pretty solid.
Yep.
We're not seeing any adverse to going to an X-Flex.
Yep.
The club head speed kind of justifies that. So yeah, I would say we're going to check the lie angle out.
Cool.
But I think we're pretty close to sorting
Cool.
a combination there.
Yeah.
The lie angle is going to be an interesting one because the dynamic testing is suggesting we need to go upright.
Yep.
The shot shape, for the most part, is right to left.
Yep.
So I'm a little bit worried about making you more upright, and then suddenly that's turning too much.
And this is again the old versus new fitting, where if you were looking at that and the toe was striking, straight away you'd think, I need to make that more upright.
Exactly.
But you're looking at his shots and it's just going to make them go further left, which is not what we want, is it really?
No, exactly. So it's the blend of theory and reality.
And yeah, ball flight, absolutely, which is obviously at the forefront of everything we're doing in custom fitting. So cool.
So let's do that.
Yeah, let's let you hit a few more.
So what happens now?
Right, so we're just having a bit of a chat about lie. You put a bit of tape on the face, didn't you? Just have a bit of a look at.
Yep.
Back in the day, we used to hit stuff off lie boards, didn't we? And tape the bottom of clubs up
We
and have a
did,
bit of a look at that. And sort of fitting has moved on, thankfully, since then. So obviously, Callaway have their own. Every manufacturer has their own way of looking at lie and testing it. So we've put some tape, or you've put some tape on the face there. And what have you seen from that when Gaz has hit a few?
So the face tape went on there so I could see where the strike was and how consistent that strike was.
Yep.
Because when we are changing the weight of a golf club, I want to see how consistently we can bring that back to centre. So that was actually a good experiment for us. Also showed me that the length of the golf club was in the right sort of ballpark. But if we look at the sole of the club there, we can see that on the toe there's a little bit more of an impact mark from it. Now we'll do that test properly once we've got the shaft dialed in, because the shaft dynamics can have a little bit of a play on that one. But it's certainly telling me that we may have to look at the lie angle. Length looks pretty solid.
Yeah.
We may have to look at the lie angle dynamically as Gaz is striking the ball.
Absolutely, and again, to that kind of old way of fitting versus the modern way of fitting, it was all done, well, a lot of it was done statically, and then the dynamic parts of it really focused on how the club hit the ground, not where the golf ball ended up, and obviously where that ends up is the most important thing, isn't it? Yeah. So we're looking at shot shape and tendencies as well as where the club's striking the ground as well, aren't we? So yeah.
We can fit it statically. Anybody can fit it statically, but at the end of the day, where's it going?
Exactly, which I think is something that was forgotten about. Like back in the day when we used to fit stuff, the ball flight was not really as much of a concern as what was happening at strike, was it? Yeah. Whereas now it's all about ball flight, and because that's what matters. Isn't it? Absolutely.
It's what we see on the golf course.
Indeed. Yeah.
That's what we want
Absolutely.
to be. We're trying to replicate in here. And again, when you look at something statically and go, right, you need this, you need that, it will have an effect down there.
Yeah.
If that's detrimental, then we don't do it. Just because it statically said we do it, it's what happens down there.
Cool. Let's get it dialed in then.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So now we've been through the entire fitting process, what have we decided on?
Well, actually, after the testing process, we're actually going to go with the combo set.
Okay,
we're
cool.
We're going to split them there. What we found, especially with the strike pattern, is when we went too short, too long an iron with a pro, the strike pattern got a bit more of a high dispersion. Distance wasn't as good, but actually we want the control.
Yep.
We want that real workability, playability of the Pro gives us in the shorter irons, but that little bit more forgiveness that we're going to get from the Apex in the mid and long irons.
So we've kind of got the best of both as to what we were looking at the start, haven't we? We wanted that bit more control and precision, but not sacrificing distance, and that's certainly what we're getting from Apex, and then we move really into the more precision end in Apex Pro, don't we? And slightly sleeker, nicer looks, and the feel slightly better as well, potentially. And you know, it's those sort of shots that are going to kind of help you score a little bit, aren't they, as well?
Yeah, I think we're in a really lucky position with the combo sets that we have available, is that we can tick the boxes we need. You know, we need forgiveness. We want that little bit of help with the longer irons, but we want that control. We want that playability with the shorter irons, and the Apex combo set really gives us that benefit.
Exactly, and you know, from your perspective, when we were hitting them, the ball flight. I mean, I've obviously seen you hit lots of golf shots before, but the ball flight looked really
nice.
good, didn't it?
I could tell once I got the shaft and the head right, you could definitely, the consistency was there. It felt a lot better, and then I want the ball to be able to stop on a green. I think that's where the Apex Pro comes in. I can get that control, and hitting a 140, 50 yard shot, I can stop it a lot quicker than I could with the Apex. But
and certainly we saw with the shaft that we put in as well, the striking, the difference between what it was like before and then when we got the shaft right, the strike really got so much more precise in the middle of the face as well, didn't it? So yes, I mean, getting better at golf, fitting golf clubs does help, but hitting the middle of the face is obviously very important
and then
too.
You can help with that now with the lie and
exactly.
The one thing I didn't really know you could do was, let's say, if you're hitting it out of one part of the golf club, you can change it and all the lie. I didn't know you could do all that, so that's something new for me today. Definitely.
Cool. Yeah, brilliant. Well, look forward to getting them, seeing your scores tumble. Yeah.